thank you all for being here, and thankfully the rain has held off for us to have this incredibly important conversation today. Heritage Action is committed to changing Washington, and part of that commitment is joining the fight to protect the unborn and get government out of the abortion industry. The abortion regime in the United States can be tied to one main organization. It's an organization that should be a dirty word, and that is Planned Parenthood. This organization is responsible for performing over 327,000 abortions in just 1 year alone in this United States. This organization, as we've already talked about today, says it exists to provide things like women's health care services. Well, the stories that we all heard and the graphics that ADF put up demonstrate that that is not the case. How can they even claim to provide women's health services if they don't even offer a mammogram? That's like pretty basic when it comes to women's healthcare providers. So let's stop this rhetoric. Let's push back against this smoke screen that Planned Parenthood is using to hide behind and reveal what is truly happening with our taxpayer dollars as they fund Planned Parenthood, which is a systematic murder of the unborn. But there is a way, and there is a way forward, and the time is now. Our moment is ripe. We have the eyes of the country watching along, and Congress can act. It is in their power and their best interest to truly act, and they can act now, September. This is the month. They can pass a continuing resolution which authorizes funding for the government through this next year. This vote is coming up in the coming weeks. And you know what? It's going to include funding for Planned Parenthood unless we stop it, and unless Congress stands strong and does the right thing. If Congress chooses, it can use its constitutionally granted power of the purse to hold the executive branch, that's President Obama, in check and strip funding from Planned Parenthood. Congress can act, and we will support Congress when they do the right thing. We are not alone in this effort. There is already a coalition of representatives that are actively fighting this, whether they are supporting Representative Black and her bill as she just described, or they've signed on to an effort that's being supported by Representative Mick Mulvaney, who's a representative out of South Carolina. He's written a letter, and he has signed this letter and sent it to the desk of Speaker John Boehner, and it promises with the signatories that not to pass any appropriations resolution that contains any funding for Planned Parenthood. This is the best opportunity that we've had in a long time as the pro-life movement, and we can have a decisive victory today. This letter is currently open. Over 29 additional members of Congress have already signed on. This is our vehicle to stop funding for Planned Parenthood. At the end of the day, the way the citizens in the American Republic truly can fight for good and just laws is by using our voice and contacting our members of Congress. And that's why I'm so excited. There's so many faces here today that are going to take to the halls of Congress, demand this change, and you know what? We're going to support Congress when they do the right thing and hold them accountable when they don't. The time is now, and let's join this commitment to change Washington and protect the unborn. Thank you.